Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm really grateful that you're listening, subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate all the support. And in this one I want to speak to you about something that I've been doing last year and this year as a self-growth, personal development movement that I'm constantly on. As an INFJ, if you're an INFJ, or most people in the world, I think, a lot of people in the world are constantly trying to improve themselves, right? And so we do different things. We take courses, we go traveling, we meet new people, we get married. That's a big transformation process. Or we go and get into relationships. That's also very transforming. And so I'm constantly looking for different new ways to transform myself because I do travel a lot. And so now travel is not as much of a transformation process for me because I'm very used to it, and I know how to deal with it. And perhaps I've reached a plateau with it. Perhaps I haven't really visited every country though. So maybe if I visited Africa, which is a little bit harder to travel in, or India, maybe it would be transformative as well. But even so, I'm constantly looking for different ways to transform myself, to build my personal development, my personal growth, and keep on becoming a better version of myself from the past. Because that's really all I really care about. Is I want to be better than I was yesterday, and I want to be better tomorrow than I am today, right? A very INFJ-esque kind of thing to do. I think every INFJ I've spoken to, they're always on this quest as well. So I wanted to share this technique that I've been using because I've found it to be very useful in my personal growth journey. I don't know if this is something that is very typical or something that people do a lot of. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But essentially, it's the idea of kind of going back to your childhood or your 20s, your younger years, depending on how old you are, and making a list. That's what I did last year, is that I was walking around. I don't know where it was exactly. I know I was traveling somewhere, and I was walking around, and I stopped at a playground just to sit and rest. They had some seats, and there were some people playing basketball there, some adults playing basketball, and they were really good. So, I sat there and watched them for a while, and I was like, wow, this is so interesting. No wonder people watch basketball games on TV, because sometimes I wouldn't understand why they did, but of course watching these people be so athletic and have such talent, it was really nice. I was enthralled. But this kind of thought came popping up in my head saying, hey, you used to play basketball when you were younger. And suddenly I was like, oh right, I did play basketball when I was in my teens. And then of course the question came, why did I stop? And from that point, I started kind of looking at why I stopped playing basketball, but also why I stopped playing or doing a lot of other things. Now, of course, a lot of children play things that adults will probably not, right? Like hopscotch or, I don't know, other games that we played, tag. Adults can, but a lot of times we stop playing because it's just not stimulating enough for us. But there were a lot of things I did when I was a child that I was really interested in, that I found fascinating, that I found entertaining, that I loved, that I stopped. And now I sat down and I journaled quite a bit after that, just to think about why did I stop? What was the reason for it? Some of it might have been because I didn't have the time, because I was studying for a really important exam and I was trying to get into university. Or some of it could have been money. I didn't have the money to pay for the classes or for the equipment on my own. As a child, I would have to ask my parents, and my parents would be like, no way, like, focus on your studies. Why would you waste your time on this, right? Which is how a lot of Indian parents are. So whatever the reason was, I kind of made a list of 7 or 8 items that I used to do, that I loved, that I had so much fun with, that I stopped for some random reason. And of course, basketball was one of them. There's also dance. Just like formal dancing. I used to take lessons of Bharatanatyam, which is a traditional formal Indian dance, beautiful dance. And I took lessons for a while, and then I stopped. I don't know why. Maybe I lost interest. That's one of my theories. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Me and my parents were just sick and tired of dragging me all over town, driving me to my classes. Badminton was one of them. I love playing badminton. I don't know why I stopped. Really, I have no idea. And so yeah, so I made a long list of these items, and it was kind of really cathartic for me as well, because I realized, all right, I have very limited interests now. I love walking, I love dancing, I love reading, I love writing, I love traveling. But a lot of these are very passive activity. That is, you're not interacting with anyone else. You're not playing, a sport with someone else. Whereas a lot of things I did as a child were very interactive. I did them with other people. I played with other people. I played basketball with other people. I played badminton with other people. I danced with other people, it was in a group setting. Now, I'm not saying that I want to go back to all these group activities. I like being solitary a lot, and I like doing a lot of solitary activities, but I did have a lot of group activities back then, and some of them I did enjoy. It wasn't all draining, right? And so, again, as I said, it was really cathartic. It was really enlightening to understand a little bit more about my younger self and also myself right now, and to kind of say, okay, why not make an experiment? So I started little by little dabbling in a lot of the different things that I did when I was a child, or I wanted to do, but I never tried, or I tried once, but then I stopped. Whatever the reason might be, that's not relevant right now. But as I said, I have the time and the money now. I can spend money on equipment that I want to buy because I'm doing it on my own for myself. I have the time for it because I work very little, really, or I work short hours. And so I decided to kind of go back to my childhood. It was kind of like inner child work, but not really, because I'm not really speaking to my child or anything. I'm just letting my inner child, or myself really, my adult child, play. And play in a way that I used to enjoy playing when I was a child, but I stopped playing for some reason. I don't know why. And now I'm going back to playing in that manner to see if I like it. If I don't like it, I don't have to do it. If I like it, I can keep on doing it because I am the boss right now, right? There's no one else saying, hey, no, you just stop because you need to study. Or no, I don't want to drive you there anymore, so you need to stop those lessons. Whatever the reason might be, it doesn't matter. Now there is no reason like that. I decide. I am the one. I'm the one in control. I'm the one in power. I can say, hey, I like this. I want to keep on doing it. I don't like this. I don't want to do that anymore. And so, yeah, as I said, I started kind of like little by little. I don't have to do all of it at once in 1 year. No, there's lots of time. I'm healthy enough that I feel like I have a little bit of time left. Maybe even 40 years, who knows? And so little by little, I want to try it and dabble into all of these different things. So I got basketball lessons and I started playing basketball. Now, again, I am not the best in it. And this is not something about proficiency. It's not about becoming brilliant at anything. It's about playing. It's about dribbling and having fun with it, shooting into the hoop and saying, ooh, this is fun. And I actually quite enjoyed it. And I was like, wow, why did I stop? And so, I'm doing bits and pieces of all of these different activities, playing badminton, dancing. I got a Steezy, Steezy. It's a dance app, so whenever I have time or inclination, I'll just put it on and I'll just do a little bit of dancing. I love hip-hop dancing, apparently. I didn't realize that. And so I wanted to kind of implore you as a personal growth aficionado to kind of go on this journey as well. It's a really interesting, fascinating, fun journey to go on. Write down all the things that you did as a child that you stopped for some reason or another, and then maybe try a couple of those items. It doesn't have to be something major. You don't have to go and enroll into a dance school in New York or something, I'm saying? You can just do something small, something that is feasible for you at this point in time, and see, it might rekindle your passion for certain things that you loved as a child, but you stopped for some random reason, whatever the reason might be, right? And it'll also kind of teach you a lot about yourself. Like, I am learning a lot about myself kind of going on into these activities. Like, for example, I started, as a lot of people do, I started crocheting and knitting because it's just a fun activity to do on your own. It's a great solitary activity. It doesn't require a lot of equipment, and it's cheap. I mean, it's pretty cheap to grab all the wool and the needles. And I noticed that I am quite good at picking up new stitches and being pretty neat at crocheting. Which was something that I always considered myself, oh, I'm so dirty, or like I'm so lazy, and all my room is in disarray, blah blah. But when I was crocheting, I'm quite neat, which is quite fascinating to me. And so this is something I'm learning. I'm like, I am neat in certain ways, but in ways that don't matter to me, I'm not, right? Which is how most people are. We're multidimensional. And so yeah, you learn so much about yourself, and it's just like a great way to, again, as I said, grow and become a better version of yourself than the past. And so this is what I've been doing. I started last year, October-ish, I think. And a lot of this year as well is going to be spent trying new activities, enrolling into schools that I want to enroll into, learning languages that I've been wanting to learn for a long time, things like that. And yeah, so I'd love to hear from you as well. Is this something that you've ever tried before, or have you ever done this before? If you haven't, would you try it? If you do want to try it and you have questions, let me know. I'd love to hear from all of you, of course, as always. And again, I hope this was interesting to you. It's not really INFJ related, but I wanted to speak to you about my journey as well a little bit and all the random things that I try with my day. Again, thank you so much for your time, for your support, for all the comments, for the love that I get from this channel. I really love and appreciate all of you. And I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.